Hello students, today I'll be discussing the basics of solubility test. What is the solubility test and what we will learn after the understanding of the solubility test. The learning outcome will be after understanding the basics of solubility tests, you will be able to predict the probability of the functional groups that may be present during qualitative analysis of an unknown compound. Suppose in the lab we have given any unknown compound, then how will you proceed for a particular functional group analysis? You will first do the solubility test and you'll get some ideas that I'm going to discuss in this video. First, we'll try to learn what is solubility. Solubility is the degree to which a substance dissolves in a solvent to make a solution that is expressed in gram per liter. Here I have tried to show the solubility of a substance in a solvent using two beakers in which one is distributed throughout the solvent and in this another one it has accumulated at the bottom, means it has not distributed in the solvent. So the first beaker, it is showing a soluble substance, the second one is showing an insoluble substance. According to the solubility of the organic compounds, there are 7 groups. I'll be discussing one by one which are those groups. First one is group 1. We take the sample and if we find that it is soluble in water as well as ether, then we categorize it as group 1 compounds. These are some phenols, alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, acids. Those have low molecular weight that contains up to 5 to 6 carbon atoms only. Then the next one is group 2, in which it is soluble in water but insoluble in ether. These are sugars, glucose, urea, thiourea, means carbohydrates. Then we have group 3, insoluble in water but soluble in ether and readily soluble in bases. Bases, that is 5% NaOH solution. How will we make 5% NaOH solution? We'll take 5 gram of NaOH, we'll dissolve it in 100 ml of water. Then these examples, acids, phenols and imides, means these type of compounds falls under the group 3. Then we have group 4 that are soluble in ether but insoluble in water but are soluble in diluted acids. That is 5% HCl, it's a mineral acid. These are amines and hydraziles. Then we have group 5 and group 6. I have written it together because in both nitrogen and sulfur is absent, and how they differ, the group 5 are soluble only in concentrated H2SO4. Examples, unsaturated hydrocarbons, aldehydes, ketones, esters, ethers, anhydrides and alkyl halides. The another one is which are insoluble in concentrated H2SO. These are hydrocarbons, halogen hydrocarbons and cyclic paraffin. Then we have the last group, that is group 7, in which it contains nitrogen and sulfur and it fails the solubility test. Means what are the combinations we have, it doesn't fall amongst any of them, and these are amides, nitro compounds and nitrites. So here we have the list of group 7. These 7 groups we have, and different compounds, different functional groups are there. We have to see the solubility parameter of those compounds and we can make out which it can be. Like it will be a prediction. It won't be the surety, but a little bit of idea you will get out of it in which group it is. Like it is insoluble in water but soluble in ether and readily soluble in bases. So after performing this experiment, you can predict that it can be an acid. Then you will proceed with the acidic, like carboxylic acids functional group test, that I'll be discussing in another video when I'll be discussing about the carboxylic acid functional group determination. So here you should have idea that how many groups are there. So we have 7 groups. Then how we start the solubility test? First we take the sample and we dissolve it in water. If it is soluble, because in both it is soluble, it will be group 1 or group 2. If Then again, what we will do? We'll take the sample and we'll dissolve it in ether. If it is soluble, it will be group 1. If it is insoluble, it will be group 2. Now, those which was insoluble in water, what we will do? We will take again the sample and we'll try to dissolve it in dilute NaOH. If it is soluble, it will be group 3. If it is insoluble, then what we'll do? We'll again take the sample and we'll try to dissolve it dilute HCl, that is 5% HCl. If it is soluble, it will be group 4. If it is insoluble, then and after the elemental analysis, if we find nitrogen is present, it is group 7. If nitrogen is absent and sample plus H2SO4, if nitrogen is absent, what we will do? We'll take the sample and we'll try to dissolve it in concentrated H2SO4. If it is soluble, it is group 5. If it is insoluble, it is group 6. So we have group 1 to group 7, all the basic ideas. Means after this simple three or four solvents, after the solubility studies of the 4 solvents, we can make out which in which group it is falling. Okay. So this is the basic idea of giving you this video, that one second. The basic idea of giving this video separately, so that you can get to know this group 2 to group 7 and how we proceed with this solubility test. So group to group 7, you first try to make out, then you proceed further for the functional group analysis. Okay, thank you so much. In the next slide, I'll be giving you the ideas about the functional group analysis of separate compounds. Thank you so much.